The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your coffee time crew.
Well, good morning and welcome back to Coffee Time with Blind United once again. We thank everybody for showing up and listening to what we got going on today. As far as let me first introduce my crew. I got Carol and Pedro. Good morning, y'all.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody. Hump Day Wednesday.
Hump Day Wednesday. So let me get into our interest groups. So we got two interest groups tonight, starting with AI for beginners at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And then we got advanced technology with my brother there, Pedro, at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So again, it's all about technology tonight. So, you want to learn a little bit about AI and, if you don't know a lot about it, I always say that we need to learn how to use it before it learns how to use us. And it's definitely on the way to learn how to use us. So, but then again, a little bit later on, Pedro comes in and, he'll be there with me most likely during the AI for Beginners group.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, at 6 o'clock, he'll take over with his advanced technology. I don't know, you got anything special you plan on doing tonight, Pedro?
Just showing off a couple of shortcuts on how they could show up and make it a breeze to load up these AIs. Also, I've been beta testing the iOS 26 coming up around September. It'll be coming out probably mid-September. I'm just gonna give a couple of things that I think are nifty, some new accessibility features that I haven't really seen no one online talk about it. I'm about to bring it to my channel, but I want to bring it to my class first. I think some of these tools are pretty nice. Some are for regular people and some are for us too. So, if you want to come join us tonight at 5 p.m. for the AI. For that one, I am going to give a couple of tips on how to use your phone if you have 15 or newer. I know some of us do, some of us don't. But just to give a little bit of, little tips on how to use your AI with your phone.
Right. Cool. And then I can talk about how I done migrated over to Copilot.
Ed needs to start writing a novel.
Well, I'm testing them out. I'm trying to find the one that works best for me. And right now, Copilot seems to be doing it for me. And it's free.
And you're breaking that stereotype, man. An old dog can learn new tricks.
I'm definitely learning a whole bunch of new ones. So anyway, this first article is actually about AI and what I was saying about, learn how to use it before it learns how to use us, because this article is going to, again, maybe you might have been hit with this scam or whatever, but this is an AI scam. So check this out.
Blind United crew, grab your first cup as the Coffee Time crew gets into this first article. AI scams are getting smarter and more dangerous. Artificial intelligence is revolutionizing industries from healthcare to education, but it's also giving scammers powerful new tools to exploit unsuspecting victims. Across the United States, law enforcement agencies and cybersecurity experts are sounding the alarm about a sharp rise in AI-powered scams, particularly those involving voice cloning and deepfake technology. These scams are no longer limited to suspicious emails or poorly written text messages. Today's fraudsters are using sophisticated software to mimic the voices of loved ones, bank representatives, and even government officials. The result? a wave of emotionally manipulative scams that feel disturbingly real. Here's how it works. Scammers collect audio samples from social media, YouTube videos, or even voicemail greetings. Using AI voice synthesis tools, they create a near-perfect replica of someone's voice. Then, they call the target, often claiming there's an emergency, and request money through peer-to-peer payment apps like Zelle, Venmo, or Cash App. One recent case involved a woman in Chicago who received a frantic call from what sounded like her son, claiming he'd been in a car accident and needed bail money. She wired $1,500 before realizing it wasn't him. The voice was fake. The story was fake. But the financial loss was very. These scams are particularly dangerous because they bypass traditional warning signs. The voice sounds familiar. The urgency feels real. And the technology is improving rapidly, making it harder to detect the fraud. For blind and visually impaired users, the threat is even more complex. Many rely on voice cues to verify identity, and screen readers or voice assistants may not flag suspicious activity. In noisy environments or during moments of stress, it's easy to miss subtle inconsistencies in tone or phrasing. Advocates are calling on tech companies to implement stronger safeguards, including biometric verification for voice-based transactions, multi-factor authentication that requires confirmation through a second device, AI detection tools that can flag synthetic voices in real time. In the meantime, here are some practical steps you can take to protect yourself. Never send money based solely on a voice call. Always verify through a second channel, text, email, or in person. Limit public access to your voice. Adjust privacy settings on social media and avoid posting voice recordings unless necessary. Use secure payment platforms that offer fraud protection and transaction alerts. Report suspicious activity to your bank, the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, and local law enforcement. Education is key. The more we understand how these scams work, the better we can defend ourselves and our communities. Blind United encourages everyone to share this information with friends, family, and support networks, especially those who may be more vulnerable to voice-based manipulation. As AI continues to evolve, so must our awareness and vigilance. Technology should empower us, not exploit us. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, I told you they're going to learn how to use us.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's actually, in essence, that's exactly what this scam is doing. I mean, they're using us to get, they're using our emotions. They're using our, our feelings towards our family and loved ones, and the urgency by regenerating these voices and calling, I probably would do the same thing. If one of my kids called me and and did a voice thing where, Daddy, I need whoa, 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 whoa. Man, I'm gonna do everything I can to try to help my child. But now, we got this thing coming out. Now I have to question that. You know what I'm saying? And in that, you're actually, depending on what the potential emergency is, I could be potentially putting my family in danger because of these scams, right? So again, this is just really, really crazy, man. So again, I say, hurry up, get with AI, learn how to use it before it learns how to use you. Again, when you get anything that's, one of these voice things, you know what I'm saying? Regroup, listen to it again. You know what I'm saying? And make sure that like I say, the manner of speech, the tone of speech, like I said, especially for us in the blind community, we depend on our ears to identify people, right?
That's right.
So if we really, really listen to it a couple times, then we could very, very possibly pick up, the subtle changes in the person, right? And say, wait a minute, no, that don't sound like my daughter, or that don't sound like my son, or whatever the case may be, So again, you got to stay vigilant and protect yourself, Follow them steps that is stated, limit, public access to anything that has your imaging and your voice attached to it. So that's my recommendation. Go ahead, Carol.
I mean, it's amazing how all of a sudden now AI can trick us, that we have to be so cautious about all of the calls that we receive now, because even though I don't have any children, I do have friends and family members that may call. And, if it's something that they need, of course, if I have it, I would do it. My thing, though, now I don't know if the article had mentioned it, but I would have like a code word, by me using my ears only and not being able to use my eyes. If it's someone that knows me, hey, this will be our code word. So if you ever need something from me, this is what you say in the call. And that way I can really kind of predict if this is the right person. Because if I'm physically talking with them at that time, hey, what was our code word? I know you say you're going through something, you need this. What was our code word? And if it can't relay that to me, then I know that's not the real person. But if they leave a voicemail and I try to return the call and there's no way I can, then of course I can investigate that a little further. But that's something that, I would do, is have a code word. That way I know, okay, I'm not wasting my money or my time, since I only can rely on my ears. And, just be a little bit more careful about how I utilize my money and pay attention to just anything, because we live on emotion
Yeah,
and
that's a
feelings.
great
And
tip too, Carol. That's a very great tip right there.
mhm,
Just like how when we call into call centers and they're like, "What's your last four of your social, your birthday, your parents'
right,
name, your mother's name, your
what's your
all,
passwords,
what's the
when you call the
password?"
security company.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great point right there. And yes, these AI sophisticated scams are getting more brazen and more bold. And sometimes I have told a man, this is not a real person, and then you hear the typing in the background, ta, 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 ta. Because my hearing is pretty excellent. You can hear
Hmm.
the typing, and then here comes the voice like a second later. I am a real person. I start laughing, you know and then the they they um they have so many different scams. You got people calling and stuff like that. This new AI type of scam, you have not just scammers like that, but even people that like to do hacking, that do black hat hacking is what it's called. They use AI to create a malware that to jump onto to computers, and they try to make it better and better. So, AIs always can be used for malicious things and stuff like that, malicious activities. We just need to be up on game and know what type of scams are going. Have a code word, like Carol said. That's a very good tip right there.
Yeah.
Because look, criminals are finding out what Google's been doing.
Hmm.
Google does this. Google has one AI, right? But he has four other ones creating. One creates the code, right? And then the
Right.
next AI checks that code and makes sure it's good. The next AI comes out and validates that the code is correct. And the last one runs another check. So now you have AIs building and correcting other AIs. And we're gonna have that coming soon. And people are catching up. People are
So they're piggybacking off of one another.
somewhat like that,
Okay.
but they do it like that to better get results when they construct their AIs. I think they made their AI more 8% more efficient with that type of technique. But what I'm trying to say is you're gonna have uh characters building AIs now, trying to have a side AI to improve some of these viruses code or whatever, if it's like a cyber worm or whatever it's gonna be. You got people using these AIs. I was watching
Hmm.
a great documentary yesterday. Oh my god, it was fascinating about AI and jobs and things that are going by. It was a ex-employee of Google, one of the Google's ex AI. Man, I forgot his position, but he was talking about different things and AI and where it's headed and stuff like that.
Right. I mean, I know a
Mm.
lot of those big time AI I don't know what we want to call them, AI engineers, I guess would be the
Mm-hmm.
better word.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are leaving some of the big tech
Mm-hmm.
companies, like you say, Google, OpenAI,
Mm-hmm.
XAI. They're leaving because I guess they don't necessarily like, you know,
The
I
new
don't know.
ethics, the new
I'd be
ethics they're talking about,
right.
that they're not caring about the ethics on the way the AI is being used.
Right. So I mean, and I've noticed, like for
Mm-hmm.
instance, with Be My Eyes, they're getting some folks that's coming their direction. You know,
Mm.
some other
Mm-hmm.
ones are actually, you know, some of these big time folks, right? And then you got others that are just, you know what? Let me just do a startup, and that way I can do my own AI model. You know that I've, again, but it's still going to be built on what their ethics are, and their ethics may not line up with your ethics. So I mean, again, it's just, you got to be careful with all this kind of stuff. Now, what I
What?
do when I hear one of them voices on the call, first thing I say is I don't talk to robots, and most of them are having automated responses, and
Right.
it has no response for that, so it just hangs up.
And yes, we, you know what, it's a problem because, oh my god, our representatives and our people in power, but that's the problem there. But that
Mm.
aside, it's kind of sad that we leave it up to like Apple, Microsoft. It'd be nice, or Google, and most likely it's gonna come soon. But I hope with Apple, it's most likely to be on board device, but it's gonna have an AI scanning and making sure this call um is not AI voice. The AI
What?
voice detection, that
I don't
probably is
know if
coming soon.
I don't know if you all have it up there, but like my access down here to Dark Paratransit, when
Mm.
I call in to like confirm my ride for the next day, if I hadn't received a text message or anything stating the time, like if I've done it 2 days prior, when you call in, it's a computer that you can definitely they'll add, hi, Carol, are you calling to confirm your trip or cancel your trip? And you can definitely tell that it's an AI generated voice. It's not an individual, and it's having a conversation with me.
Man,
Well,
my better half has a transportation AI. It sounds pretty good. Um, they're getting good.
and
Hmm.
plus, I mean, again, yeah, we got that out here, but see, not all paratransits are equal, right? So
Right, right.
in LA, you have to order the day before. Out here with
Ah,
me, I can order up to 5 days in advance.
Mm-hmm.
gotcha,
So
gotcha.
again, it just depends on where you're at,
Okay,
Or
as
what system
to
of transportation you're on to.
right and what form of transportation you're
Mm-hmm.
using.
that you're on. Right.
I mean, I like when I use for my medical transport, right, through
Hmm.
my insurance. When I'm calling to order my will call, I mean, you would think it's an AI. I mean, it's a generated voice, but it says, "Are you calling to activate your will call?" And I just say yes.
Okay.
You,
Well, it'll tell me, press one, and
yeah,
then
Right.
I'll press one, and then okay, your ride has been activated.
and look, before we cut to the break, I was tricked by an AI recently, and it
Mm.
was a hotel resort AI. Okay, I said, the lady answered, said hello. I was talking to a human there. I was interacting, and then I said, okay, reservation. Boom. The lady, the AI answered and said, "Hello, my name is whoa whoa whoa." Sounded like a person, and then I asked it a few questions, and then I was like, "Ooh, okay, this is AI." It caught my better half too, but
Hmm.
it caught me too. Like I was like, "Whoa, hold up!" Like I started recognizing, and I was like, you know what I mean?
It's the pauses. I think that you like a real person wouldn't do that, but the conversation is like a real person. I mean, it's steady improving, and it's scary, yo.
Right. So anyway, Eddie popped in. Eddie Miranda, thank you for popping in, my brother. And he says for us to continue, keep up the good work. So thank you, my brother. I'm glad you appreciate it.
Good morning,
So
Eddie.
Good morning.
but let's go ahead and jump into a couple of these promos, my brother, and then we can get into this second article. This one here, the second one. Well, let's go ahead. Let me the promos. I'll talk about it in a minute.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
Have you ever wondered what it's really like to be blind? Ever wanted to ask questions but held back, afraid of offending? Blind United invites you to replace that fear with fun, learning and connection at our 4th annual walk. A mile in my shoes challenge. Join us Saturday, October 11th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Wayfinder Family Services, 5000 Angeles, Vista Boulevard, Los Angeles. Experience everyday attacks blindfolded, like pouring a cup of water. Try assistive technology like screen reader computers and iPhones. Get a hands-on braille lesson and discover how independence is built every day. Smile, laugh, and learn alongside the blind community. No pressure, just pleasure. Help us build bridges, close gaps, and make connections. Walk a mile in my shoes and see the world in a whole new way.
Pedro really does his thing. I love that.
Well, I mean, and it makes you want to hum along with it while it's going on. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, Tisha says good morning. Hey, so good morning, Tisha.
Hey, Tisha.
I mean, again, this Walk a Mile event, y'all. I mean, I'm telling you, this is our 4th annual Walk a Mile. Well, let me be fully transparent. It's the 4th time that, those of us involved have done it, but it's actually our first time under the Blind United banner because we didn't have the Blind United was not a thing when we first started doing this. So, but it is now, and it will be happening every year. So, for quite briefly, just so those listening in and may not know, this is an opportunity for you to grab your friends and family members that just don't understand, right? You complain to them about certain things they doing and whatever. Well, I ain't got time to deal with that petty stuff. I didn't realize it was that important. I mean, there's so many different things they can say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bring them out. We're going to put some sleep shades on them. We're going to let them understand. They're going to walk a mile in our shoes, not literally a mile, but they're going to be in our position during these challenges, right? They're going to put some sleep shades on. Let me see if you can pour a glass of water. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if you can set the microwave to, whatever, to cook something, right? Then, okay, you got an iPhone? Okay, let me see it right quick. I turn voiceover on and turn screen curtain on. Okay, now you can't see your phone, right? Operate your phone. Send me a text message, whatever, right? See how our screen readers work, see how we do Braille. I mean, it's just so many different things. But ultimately, then we give you a cane and we put a sleep shades on you, give you a quick mobility lesson, give you a cane, and take you out with Wayfinder. It's not a really long distance. We're going to walk out the back gate, and then we're going to walk around the corner and come in the front gate. So it's not really that far, but you get an opportunity to really feel what it's like to navigate without sight, and you
Experience.
and you've been depends solely on your cane to understand your surroundings. You know what I'm saying? And what you feel, right? That's what we have to do every day. So again, get your people together, come out, sign up. Again, if you're on the email list, you get the link is there to sign up. Please sign up because space is limited. We can only allow 200 people, okay? And that includes you and your guests. Now, if you're in the blind community and you want to get an event t-shirt, the whole purpose of this is to educate the sighted. So you must bring a sighted guest in order to get an event t-shirt. So anyway, get in there, get signed up. Cutoff time is going to be, I believe, around October the 5th is what we decided last night, simply because we got to get, sizes and all that kind of stuff for all of these t-shirts. And we got to get it to the printer to get the shirts and stuff made up before the event on the 11th. So again, come on out, hang out with us. No pressure, just pleasure. We're going to have fun with it, man. I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun. For those that have never participated, it really is a lot of fun. We don't shame you. We don't judge you. Again, we may laugh a little bit, but we're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you. So anyway, don't forget to do that. This next one actually was really surprising to me. One of the foremost lighthouse for the blinds here in California, Lighthouse for the Blind of San Francisco. Been around for 100 years. Check this out, what they got going on.
Hey, Blind United crew, grab your next cup as the Coffee Time crew gets into this second article. Lighthouse for the Blind under fire as investigations mount. A storm is brewing in San Francisco as one of the nation's oldest and most respected organizations serving the blind and visually impaired faces serious allegations. Lighthouse for the Blind and Visually Impaired, founded over 100 years ago, is now under federal investigation for financial mismanagement, labor violations, and failure to meet service obligations. The nonprofit has long been a cornerstone of support for blind and low vision individuals in the Bay Area, offering everything from mobility training to technology workshops. But recent whistleblower reports and internal audits have revealed troubling patterns. Funds earmarked for community programs were allegedly redirected to executive perks and non-service-related expenses. Staff members have come forward with claims of unsafe working conditions and retaliation for speaking out. Federal agencies are now involved, including the Department of Labor and the Office of Inspector General. If the allegations are confirmed, Lighthouse could face fines, leadership, and even the loss of its nonprofit status. For many in the blind and visually impaired community, the news is heartbreaking. Lighthouse has been a symbol of empowerment and independence for generations. The idea that such a trusted institution may have failed its mission is deeply unsettling. Advocates are calling for transparency and accountability. They want to see a full financial audit, leadership restructuring, and a recommitment to serving the community. Some are even proposing that services be temporarily transferred to other organizations to ensure continuity of care. This situation also raises broader questions about oversight in the nonprofit sector. How can donors and service users be sure their contributions are being used ethically and effectively? What safeguards are in place to protect vulnerable populations when leadership fails? Blind United encourages everyone to stay informed and engaged. If you or someone you know has received services from Lighthouse, consider sharing your experience with advocacy groups or oversight agencies. Your voice matters. As the investigation unfolds, the hope is that truth will lead to reform and that the blind and visually impaired community will emerge stronger and more united than ever. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
So let me be fully transparent on this one. A lot of people don't realize this because we have lighthouses for the blind all over the country. They're not one company. They're not one organization. They're actually independent organizations, and they're normally identified by whatever city they're in. Lighthouse for the Blind San Francisco, Lighthouse here for the blind in San Bernardino. Lighthouse for the Blind used to be down there in Dallas, whatever,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Again, they are all independent. So again, don't hold it against your local lighthouse for what the one in San Francisco has got going on, right? Secondly, being a nonprofit, I understand. If you earmark money for something, it must be spent on that. You cannot divert that money. You know what I'm saying? Now, you put that money aside for that, or it was donated for a specific reason. Again, you must use it for that, right? I mean, again, they're one of the largest ones. They're one of the better ones. To my knowledge, until this came out, I'm really, really shocked about this, right? Because they've done so much up there for the people up there. They actually just got a brand new building, what, 5, maybe 6 years ago, something like that. It was actually designed by a blind architect, right?
I want to check
Mm.
So,
that out.
Wow.
again, it's a really, really, really great place. But I will say this also: they've gone under new leadership in the last 3 or 4 years, I think it is. Now that I look back on it, I'm wondering the guy that used to be the director there, he's no longer in the country. Uh,
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
or is it the new leadership? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So again, you just don't know. But bottom line, they got to get their act together. They're gonna have to straighten this stuff out. Once the feds get on you and they start investigating you, baby, check it out. You better make sure you got all your I's dotted and all your T's crossed and every penny accounted for, or you will lose your nonprofit status and you will be fined. So
Mm.
anyway,
Mm-mm.
it's truly, truly sad that this is going on for an organization that has the potential and has in the past for over 100 years helped so many people in the blind and visually impaired community. So
Hmm.
again, I hope that they can fix this and continue doing the work that they've been doing for so many years. So
I'm certain that they probably can rebuild. Sometimes it's just individuals, and you have the wrong people in the wrong positions that just don't have the right ideas for the people that deserve it in mind. Greed, it deters a lot of things. We don't even have a lighthouse for the blind down here in Dallas anymore. Envision has bought it, and I don't know if that's better or not. Everything, there's a whole new building, and all of that, things just change sometimes. And I know that they're probably doing the best they can, like I'm sure they were trying to down there. I think they just had a few bad eggs in the dozen, and they just didn't do what they were supposed to. Because you're right, a nonprofit is hard to establish, first off, and then keeping it, and you getting all these donations, you're trying to help people. You look at other organizations, like, what is that, for children, Shriners, we have down here. They have the commercials for it, or you have some type of dog or cat shelters where they have allocated funds for that. I've never seen a commercial for anything that's related to the lighthouse or anything for the blind. But when you have something out there, people that want to donate to it, and make sure that we try to get all that we need to be the best that we can. You want to make sure that money goes where it's supposed to. And sometimes, like I say, greed can get the best of you, and you just don't do what you're supposed to. And everybody that needs and deserves whatever the donation was set aside for, just unfortunately can't get what they deserve or need.
well, and some of these folks need to understand, a perk of the job is not pilfering the bank account.
Hmm.
Again, the money needs to go where it's intended to go.
Right.
General fund money is a little bit more flexible. You can do with that. But when it's earmarked for something and you don't do it, you divert it to something else, you're looking for trouble. Go for it, baby.
Yeah, yeah. And it's been a institution where blind folks can go, congregate, unite with other blind individuals, and learn, and hone their skills, get lessons on iPhones and other things like that. You always hear good things of the Lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
I heard several things of the San Francisco. Ed just pointed out their new leadership. So, transparency is key here. I believe they can resolve this. As the article was stating that they use funds for personal things, and that's a no-no. If they have some earmarked funds, the entire board might have to vote and allocate and reissue the funds to where they're gonna go. But those are, you have to stay within ethical means when you do these. When you on the board of these organizations. For example, our board has we have somebody that loves to go through the lines, and I love that about him. He loves to stay in all the lines and be all correct and all that. And you know, in a nonprofit, you must go and stay, like Ed said, dot your I's and cross your T's. You have to have everything accounted for. Good bookkeeping. You must stay
Mm.
up to date, even with the policies and the things that you might have to follow with the board and all that. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
you
I
have
mean, you got to follow the rules. I mean, again,
exactly.
like you were saying, if we do something and say, okay, we're going to raise money and we want to, for this, right? Well, in essence, we're earmarking it for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, but because that's something we did internally, that is something that the board could very possibly, I'm not sure, but very possibly, with a proper vote, reallocate those funds. But if somebody like donates, a bunch of money for education, that money's got to be spent on education. You
Hmm.
can't take that money and do nothing else with it. There's a
Right.
big
Right.
difference between donated funds and then, what we raising funds for within,
Right.
so
Hmm.
you gotta be careful, man. I mean, this stuff is, and again, I've always thought very, very highly of Lighthouse for the Blind San Francisco, but again, just not knowing what actually transpired up there, I hope they get themselves together so they can continue, helping folks. Like Pedro was saying, they help a lot of folks, and for a lot of people, this might be their first interaction with the blind community. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And you don't want to taint that either, right?
Mm-mm.
Want it to be a
Mm-mm.
good experience, just like what we're trying to do here with Blind United. Our community is something that is we depend on. You we know in the community that we actually need to interact with other people that know what we're going through. For a lot of people going to the Lighthouse for the Blind San Francisco for the first time, chances are they've never met another blind person in their life. So this is going to be their first experience within the blind community. We want to make sure that's a pleasant one and not let it be tainted by shady folks at the top doing what they want to do. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I guess we can jump into a couple more promos, Pedro, and then we can close out with our last article. You're going to
Hmm.
love the last article.
All right, let's go.
Did you know Blind United offers free training in assistive technology? We call them interest groups. We offer training in JAWS, NVDA, iPhone, iPad, as well as Meta Ray-Bans. We also have groups like support group, cooking groups, and crafting groups. There are also groups for entertainment like movie night and RS game night. For more information about all the interest groups that we offer, just email us at info@blindunited.org or visit our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Group. We would love to have you be part of the Blind United crew.
Did you know that people in third world countries do not have access to canes? The You Can Give initiative gives canes to people all over the world who cannot get canes. The You Cane Give initiative not only goes to these countries and gives people canes, but they give people canes and a digital recorder that is solar powered that has instructions on how to use the cane and instructions on how to repair the cane. The You Cane Give initiative is a very worthy cause, giving canes to blind people all over the world. If you have a cane that you're no longer using, or a cane that's broken or bent, you can go to youcanegive.org and get a shipping label, and you can ship your cane to Jimmy in Tennessee, and he will refurbish it and give your cane to a blind person in a third world country. That website again is youcanegive.org.
All right. Again, we do support Jimmy in every way we can, whether it's, me purchasing canes or, collecting canes, right? So again, if you want to donate a cane directly to Jimmy, you can go to his website, like I say, youcanegive.org, and you can get a download there, a shipping label, or you can just drop it in an envelope, or well, it's got to be a big envelope, but or a small box or something, right, and ship it right to him, right? Or you can come out and show up to one of the Blind United events. You know what I'm saying? Bring your cane with you. Every event we do collect canes. And in that, you can also have the opportunity to win, some sort of a prize for donating your cane. You know what I'm saying? So, again, next event coming up is the Walk a Mile. So start now. Gather up all the canes you can. Go around to all your friends. Hey, you got a broken cane? I need it. Take it. Bring it with you. You know what I'm saying? We'll get you signed in. You can donate it there at the Walk a Mile, and we'll enter you into a drawing where you could very possibly win something really, really nice. So, all right. This last one is about gaming. Again, Pedro's one of his favorite topics. He loves the game. He's definitely a blind gamer. So, anyway, check this out, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Hey, Blind United crew, grab your next cup as the Coffee Time crew gets into this third article. Gaming has always been a favorite pastime for many in the Blind United community. Whether it is audio-based games, accessible mobile apps, or simply enjoying the culture around gaming, technology has played a big role in how we connect and unwind. But as of September 2025, the cost of gaming is reaching new heights, and it is affecting everyone. According to recent reports from TechSpot and other industry trackers, the prices of AAA games, gaming consoles, and graphics cards have surged dramatically. Some high-end graphics cards now retail for over $2,000, and even mid-range models are seeing price tags that were once reserved for premium gear. The reasons behind this spike are complex but very real. First, there is the issue of tariffs. Trade tensions and new import taxes have made it more expensive to manufacture and ship components. Companies like TSMC, one of the largest chip producers in the world, have already announced plans to raise prices by up to 10% in 2026 due to these tariffs. Second, demand is at an all-time high. With more people working and gaming from home, the need for powerful hardware has skyrocketed. This has led to shortages, especially in graphics cards and processors, which in turn drives prices up. Third, the cost of development has increased. Modern games require massive teams, advanced technology, and years of work. Studios are spending more to create immersive experiences, and those costs are being passed on to consumers. For blind and visually impaired gamers, this trend presents unique challenges. Accessible gaming often relies on specific hardware or software configurations. When prices rise, it becomes harder to upgrade or maintain the tools needed to enjoy these experiences. Some accessible games are only available on certain platforms, and if those platforms become unaffordable, it limits access. Advocates are calling for more inclusive pricing models and better support from manufacturers. Subscription services like Game Pass and cloud gaming platforms offer some relief, but they are not always optimized for accessibility. There is also a push for more developers to include screen reader support, audio cues, and customizable controls in their games. Blind United encourages members to share their experiences and tips for affordable gaming. Whether it is finding deals, using refurbished equipment, or exploring free-to-play titles, there are ways to stay connected without breaking the bank. As the gaming world evolves, it is important that accessibility keeps pace. Technology should be a bridge, not a barrier. By staying informed and advocating for inclusive design, we can ensure that everyone has a seat at the table. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, other than, doing my RS games, I don't really do a whole lot of gaming anymore. I mean, I did back when I still had sight. So anyway, I am going to pass this one on to Pedro. And I got to step away for a hot minute, my brother. So I'll be back in a minute and I'll let you have it.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, yes, gaming in the 90s was a small industry. I've been gaming since the 90s, Carol. So gaming
Right.
was a small industry. So now in 2025, it's a multi-billion dollar industry, one
Mm.
of the biggest industry. And we still have people in positions of power always, oh, it's the gamers in the basements. No, gaming has gone mainstream. Gaming is not in the basement. Yes, you might have your little man cave, your garage refitted for gaming and all that. Just like you have your man cave for sports. I know someone that has like 3, 4 TVs on his wall, different games
Whoa.
the same day, different football games all at once. You know,
Mm.
this is mainstream now. We have VR immersive games with the Quest. I mean, this headset you put on, Carol,
Uh-huh.
got some stereo headphones. Oh my son tells me they have a game that you're walking through a scary forest. And he
Okay.
says, it looks so real, Dad. Like it looks so real. That he even gets jump
Mm.
scared. He'd be like, oh, and these games, these virtual reality games, you have to be on your foot. You have to be moving. So last time I was like, what are you doing? I pat him in the back and he was all sweating. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, this game works you out, Dad. This game is a
Oh
workout.
wow, he's running and everything in place.
Yes. So, to create these immersive scenes and things like that, you have
Hmm.
engineers, you have teams. Yes, now to get a, let's say, like Grand Theft Auto 6 or whatever, they're on 5. It takes years to develop these games. These games are so massive. Gigs, I mean,
Yes.
100 gigs sometimes these titles, okay? And when the PlayStation 4 came out, I saw that it had like screen reader. I saw an accessibility section.
Hmm.
So I went to play with it. I was curious. Um, yeah, sorry, I pressed the button. But yes, you know, it was a little there. I'd say like 40%, and this was just the PlayStation 4 UI, meaning the system, not the games.
Hmm.
The game is a whole other thing. I'm talking about the platform, and it's somewhat, and from one of my friends out in Texas, Scorpion, he knows who he is. He's a Mortal Kombat player. So if y'all play Mortal Kombat 11 or 1, y'all might know that name if you're listening. But, you know, I was playing this Mortal Kombat 11. It was not accessible, but listening and having somebody help you. I know other individuals in the blind community that love playing, and
Hmm.
Xbox, from what I got gathered from my friend, he said it was accessible. It will redo the menu. So I was thinking of trading, you know, going getting an Xbox for this upcoming one. But in my experience, I ended up getting the PlayStation. My kids wanted that, and I know I told this story before. I hit the button and off the bat, a screen reader came on. I recognized, I was like, what? It has a screen reader? And like, yeah, they said press this letter to turn it on. And I was like, oh, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So the first profile I set up on the PlayStation 5 was my profile. You know, I had
That's what's
one.
up.
I had one on PlayStation 4, but it was set up by my kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this time I was able to set it up. You know, and with the PlayStation 5 being able to, even in their store, they have a section to see how much accessible this game is. It would tell you if it has screen reader support, contrast for low vision, increased text, and others. The one I seen that goes the hardest with accessibility is Mortal Kombat. You know, with their new title, Mortal Kombat 1, they have audio cues. You can lower the music, and your blood, your life can be counted by percentages. It will let you know too. It
Mm.
let you know how close you're to the character by an audio cue. And then you could tell where you're at because there's a left and right channel, and they utilize that now more, you know.
That's pretty
Right.
neat. But
Mm.
that's on the PlayStation 5, right?
And that's on the PlayStation 5, guys. And we know the system is like $400 to $500. You know what I mean? With
Mm-hmm.
a game and a controller.
Well, according to what the article said, it was for
um,
$500.
yeah,
Mm.
well, it could easily cost
Oh,
you
until the
seven
tariffs
hundred
jump
dollars.
in there.
Yeah, $700 with a game controller, right?
Mm.
Right, and then now with the tariffs, I could see it hitting 1,000 for a bundle.
Right.
Mm.
You
Well,
know,
I
That's not
guess I
cool.
won't be getting one. I mean, I know you were telling me the last time about the PlayStation 5 because, I was kicking myself in the butt because I had a Super Nintendo and I had an Xbox, I had an Atari, I had a PlayStation 1, and I gave all of those away because I just couldn't play any of the games anymore. I wasn't visual. And
hmm
so now, y'all are telling me, shoot, you can get all of that where you can have the screen read it to you. So I'm like, I'll start over. Though, of course, I'm upset because those were classics. I could have made some money off of that and
yes,
maybe got a PlayStation 5.
yeah,
But
just for collectibles would have been dope just to have them as
yeah,
collectibles. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I'm
But
just swole up behind it. I really am, but it is what it is, like they say.
but there's
So
a new horizon with this. Like Mortal Kombat actually put descriptive audio in their cutscenes, guys. So you know what's happening in these cutscenes and the stories, the bloodiness that Mortal Kombat is known for, and the brutality.
tell it to you. Ooh, be in the
They
game.
get graphical with the
Uh,
with the fate. Even fatalities are audio described.
what?
The fatalities are audio
Oh
described, and
wow.
they introduced something in Mortal Kombat 11 called X-rays. X-rays are special moves, but they're like small cutscenes that do like moves.
Mm.
Even those are audio described. They gone all out for this game, and I think they've been hearing it because we do have a community within the blind community that likes to play online. Mortal Kombat. So I was blown away when this. I was able to turn on the PlayStation, go to my profile, load up the game, go to continue my story, and pass the whole game all by myself, no help.
Oh
Right.
wow. Ooh, I
Right
would
quick, I
love
just
that.
want to say Daniel popped in and say good morning, everybody. Hope everybody has a great day. So
Good
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 morning,
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 Daniel.
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 Yeah.
I used to love playing them games. Again, I don't know. I guess the hack now for that, Carol, is give it a minute, baby, and just start going to the pawn shops.
right, right.
You
Cause
know,
I don't shy away from the pawn shops. I've gotten an air fryer from there, and it's lasted longer than the one that I bought from Walmart.
So again, it's just again, we got to do something to curb that.
Right.
Hopefully things are going to turn around, and some of this stuff is going to come down, but because they've already now started to go up, trust and believe me, they're never going to come back down to where they were.
Mm-mm.
So again, we got to do what we got to do for those that really enjoy it. I mean, I know Pedro enjoys using the game console. I know a lot of people, like the gentleman that we do our scholarship, and his name Les. Les used to do the computer-based ones, where he's playing some sort of like zombie games and like no, I don't know the actual names of the games, but I'm just like Halo or some sort of war movies or war games and stuff.
How about audio games?
I'm sorry.
You were talking audio games because I was doing something in the background.
Well, no, they weren't necessarily. They were computer based.
Oh yeah, like Red Redemption. Yeah. I had a friend that they said some of these computer games can be adapted, but you have
Right.
to be well skilled on your screen reader and stuff like that.
Oh
I
yeah.
I also heard about these other audio games. I'm gonna do some research and we're gonna do an article about it. But these are all based audio games, and you have action, some fighting, and adventure games. Not a whole lot, but it's all based on Windows. So kind of like Mac. That's why I never really explore these because I'm running a Mac. I do have a Windows, and I haven't really got into that, but I work on my Mac, guys. So I'm mostly on my Mac. But there are games that are, they're like $30 for us, and they run on our computers, and some games are, you could buy them, but they're audio based and the quality I hear, oh my God. So, I was excited. I got my computer. I haven't even tried one out, but we do have some audio games, not video games. But, some titles that are accessible that I seen even in CSUN, I seen The Last of Us Part 2 version, PlayStation 5 version, accessible to a completely blind person. Mortal Kombat 1, PlayStation 5 and Xbox, the latest Xbox console, should be accessible. So, and there's more titles coming. I know there's more titles. They said there's more titles in the wild. I just haven't kept up with them, but it's nice to see that the large gaming companies see that there's gamers, blind gamers, and now they're starting to crack the door open for us.
Give me some Madden, like some football
Madden
basketball.
And well, Madden was one of the first ones to have haptic feedback on it for blind folks to pick their play. Yeah, so I believe the next one might be accessible, and I hope it is.
Hope so.
I mean, I hope that they make them, again, everybody follows suit and makes them accessible, but I'd like to rephrase it. That they just now see the value in making games accessible to us because guess what? We spend money just like everybody else. So, I mean, if you want to expand, your demographic, then again, make it accessible and blind people, they'll spend their last dollar on trying to get one of them things.
Right.
Number 2, you have blind parents that have sighted kids. And we know our kids and we know teenagers. We like to have and set up parental controls. And if your console or your platform is not accessible, I'm most likely less willing to buy it to a child that might not listen, that might be doing things on their other devices that I don't like. If I'm not able to set those parental controls, it might be out of my thing and I might not even buy one. So that's them losing out money on a console, controllers, chargers, games, headsets that they're not going to get. All that money, all that requires all that stuff.
Right.
Well, you just broke another inaccuracy about our community. Just because we're blind doesn't mean we're going to have blind children. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, exactly. And that's what people believe. It's hard. It's kind of like, I know it's funny to say, but there's people that believe that. Like, you're blind, so you have blind children. No,
no.
And we do have diseases that do transfer down through our gene pool, but that does not mean that our children is going to be blind. Like, for example, myself, they have my gene, but that doesn't mean they're blind or their children might be blind. Exactly. There's a maybe.
And then not everybody that's blind is due to some sort of disease. I mean, like myself, I came from an accident.
Right.
So again, there's many, many different reasons people are blind. So, again, don't assume that. Come to Walk a Mile. Let us educate you.
Exactly.
Right?
Like,
So
subscribe, and share if you find this content educational.
please do. Please do. And again, don't forget to come out and hang out with us tonight at 5 p.m., starting at 5 p.m. with AI for Beginners. And then at 6 p.m., hang in there, and we'll continue on with advanced technology with my brother Pedro. So until tomorrow, everybody enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you on the next one.